Before creating the image of the React.js, we are going to do the refactoring of our existing code. That means that we are going to change the Spring Boot application as well as the React.js application. Okay, so let's start. The first change that we are going to do is that we are going to use the default port number of the MySQL server, that is 3306. So I'm changing into the application.property, and here inside that student management system application, the main class, I'm going to add one code. Okay, and guys, this code is because as that once the application would be started for the first time, we want to add one record to the user table, that is for the authentication, and basically the admin user would be added. Okay, so let me paste the code over here. I've just opened. Uh, here it is. Okay, so let me just import. Done. Okay, so here you can see that we have created one class called, let's say, admin. Okay, and we are passing one argument, that is a user repository reference, that is the repo, and we are calling the save method of the repository. So as we know that whenever we call the save method, it puts the new record to the backend database. Okay, so here it is showing me the error. The error is that inside the user class, if you see the user class, we have no constructor. Okay, yeah, here we don't have any constructor that accept all these arguments. That means we don't have any parameterized constructor. So here, if I will over the mouse, okay, and it will allow me to create the constructor option. Okay, so let's click on that, and here you can see that the constructor has been created over here. Okay, so this would work perfectly. Okay, but I'm not going to follow this one. Okay, let me remove this, and instead of that, I'm just going to do right click, selecting a generate constructor, and let me select all the fields. Right, so all the fields have been selected, right, like ID, username, password, and this must have like order which we have specified over here. So here we have order, that is the user ID, password, sorry, username, password. Okay, then we have email validation active. So let me check that. Email validation active. Then we have a CT, zip code, roles. Let's check that. We have the same order on CT, zip code, and rows. Perfect. Okay. So we are having the constructor. Okay. And as we are specifying the parameterized constructor, then there won't be existence of the default constructor. That means the constructor without any parameter. So I'm just going to add that constructor also. Okay, so we have done that. Okay, so now let's try to understand that code, that what we have done over here. So we are going to create a new record of user, and we are going to save into the backend repository. That is what we are going to do. Okay, so let me start my application. Okay, let me start the application. Okay, but before checking this, what we have to do, that let's go to the Docker software. Okay, and let's see that do we have any application, sorry, container running, that is mysql underscore db. Yes, it is. Okay, so for a moment I'm okay, let's keep it as it is. Okay, so let's remove this, another container, that is app. Okay, and let me run the application. I'm running the application, and once this application would run successfully, it must have this particular record into the backend. So we have just created the admin user and admin password. Okay, so let's open the MySQL workbench. Okay, I'm in the workbench. Let's reopen the table, that is user table, and here you can see we have the record of the admin user over here. Okay, so obviously this would be working. Okay, what you can do, you can go to the IntelliJ, sorry, VS Code, and there you can open the Thunder client, the request, this one, authenticate, send, and you must get the token. Okay, that means it is working perfectly. Okay, now what we have to do that this is what we have done over here, that we have changed the Spring Boot application. Okay, so what we require to do now, we have to create the image docker image of the Spring Boot application. Okay, so that I can run it as a Docker container. So I'm stopping it, right, and opening the terminal. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I have already started the MySQL container through this local 3 terminal. So let's go to the another terminal, local. Okay, and here I'm going to use the command to build the Docker image. Okay, so let me paste that command. This is the command docker build -t app dot. Okay, so it has started creating the image. Okay, perfect. That image has been created. Right now, let me paste the command to run the Docker image. So here you can see this is a command where we have specified the network. Okay, this is essential as we have discussed in the last session, right? And as that the MySQL underscore DB container is also added to this particular network, right? That's why I have specified this, and these are the two environment variables which I have added. Okay, let me hit enter, and it should work perfectly. So my application has been started. It is working perfectly. Okay. So I'm not going to check it further. Okay. The next step would be that I'm going to clone the React.js frontend application and going to do some changes. Okay. So for that, what I'll be doing, I'm moving to my Git repository. This is the Git repository. Okay. And there I'm going to copy the Git URL. Okay, and let's go to the VS Code. In the VS Code, you should have the source control plugin installed over here, right? Okay, so here you can see that I have source control plugin, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the new window. Let me close this existing one. Okay, and let me go this and select clone repository, and there I'm pasting the repository name which we have just copied. Let me click on the clone URL, and it is asking me for the folder. So I'm just taking any folder, let's say desktop. Okay, select repository. It will start cloning it. Okay, so we are going to open it in the same window. Okay, and the first step that we always have to do is that execute the command, that is npm install. So it will download all the required plugins. Okay, so npm install. Okay, meanwhile let's do the factoring. So we are going to do the factoring inside the login.js. So right now we are not specifying any that success message that whether the user has been logged in or not. Okay, so what I'll be doing that, let's go to the component, and there we are having a login. Okay, so inside the login we are going to add the toast over here, right? So whenever the user would be logged in successful, it will show this particular message, right? The message which we are going to write over here. Okay, so if you will see that app.js, in the app.js we have already like passed the property that is show alert over here, right? Okay, so we are going to use this property into the login.js. So let's go to the login.js, and here I'm going to write the props. Okay, so then only I will able to use the properties which we are passing from the app.js. Okay, this one. So props, and here let me delete this and let me add the curly brace. So here I'm going to write that props dot show alert, and the show alert will be having a message that is success. Okay, that is the alert type, followed by the message that is login success. Okay, right? And what else we are going to do, that we are going to redirect the user to the page where the user can add the student. Okay, so for that, what I'll be doing, that I'm going to use the navigator hook, right? So for that, I'm going to import it. But import use navigate from our React router DOM. Okay, and let's declare one data, that is navigate, that will use the navigate hook. Perfect. And here I'm going to write navigate to the URL, and the URL would be the student. Okay, so that add student page would be displayed once the user would be login success. Okay, right? So this is what I have done over here, right? And other than that, I'll be moving to the auth header. Okay, this is the important thing that we are going to add to each and every Axios request. Okay, so here there is a mistake. Please correct this, that after the barra you should have one space, then and then it is going to work. Okay, so I have removed, sorry, I have added the space, and then I'm going to add this header to each and every Axios request. So I'm going to the login.js. Okay, here we don't have any Axios request, but it would be there in the auth service. Yeah, this auth service we don't require that header. In the student.js, do we have any Axios? Yes, we have. Okay, so that header would be like this, that header. Okay, and we are going to, here we are going to specify auth header, which we require to import. Okay, header auth header, this is what we have to write. Okay, and this, obviously this should be the function, as we are going to call it from here, auth header. Okay, so that will return this string, okay, into the header. Okay, so here this should be not header but headers. Okay, because this is an array of header. Okay, so let me copy this, because I require this for all the Axios requests. So here we have completed, this one is to get the student. Okay, another Axios is over here, this is to add the student, so I'm just pasting it. Okay, and here we have this Axios to update the student. Okay, so here also we have added the header. Okay, so we have successfully done this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, that I'm going to run the application. So npm start I'm going to do. Okay, and here what I'm going to do, that let me start. See here that we have just started the Spring Boot application and created the Spring Boot Docker image. Okay, so what I'll be doing, that I'm just going to stop this terminal. Okay, let me close this terminal. Okay, right, and here let me add the terminal, and this is the place where I'm going to start the Spring Boot Docker container. So this is a command to start the Spring Boot Docker container. Let me hit enter. Okay, it says that it is already started. Of course, that I had already started that earlier. Okay, so let me check. Do I have that? Yes, here it is. Okay, so let me click on start. If you start executing this Docker container, let me check the log. And here we can see it is started. Okay, so I don't require to execute this command from the command prompt, this one. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Let's start the React.js application. Okay, so let me create the terminal. Okay, and execute the command, that is npm start. Okay, so that our React.js application is started. Okay, let me click on the login. Here I'm going to provide the username, that is admin and admin. Okay, let me click on login, and I should get message. I'm not getting any message. Okay, let me see the reason, that what is the reason. So here I forgot to do this. Let me show you that here I must have to write that event dot prevent default. Okay. Okay. Let's try once again. Admin. So login success, right? Let's add the user. Okay, so I'm adding a user that is 1234. The username is na@gmail.com, and let me click on submit. Record added successfully. Let me view the record. Okay, it is showing me the error that it is not set. Okay, so what is the mistake? Guys, the mistake is that I must have to go to the student list and I have to add that header over here also. Okay, so here let me add the header. Okay, like this header, auth header. Let me save this. Okay, and I have to import it. So import auth header. Now there is no error. Let's refresh the page, and here you can see we have a record. Okay, so in the next video we are going to create the Docker image of the React.js application. That's it for this video.